right, it is officially 5:30, and we would like to call this meeting to order. So 5:30, call to order. Kirk, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Kirk.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, next on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. May I have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Motion carried. All right. Do we need a motion for approval of the minutes, gentlemen?
So the first, July 24th.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we got this.
We've got two.
Yep.
All right.
I move to accept the minutes from the July 24th meeting. Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
And same for the special call meeting August 4th.
A second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Alright. That gets us out of all the agendas and minutes. Am I correct? Yes. Okay, moving on to new business. First item is our downtown live update. Looking forward to hearing this from Jay.
Well, unofficially, according to all the feedback that we've seen on social media, the event series as a whole was a resounding success. We attracted a lot of people to downtown, a lot of people who did not know that we had as many businesses open on Main Street and downtown as we do. A lot of the comments that we heard kind of anecdotally are, wow, Jasper's really waking up, or Jasper's alive again, and we heard a lot of people who were very thankful for the event series, and we just saw a lot of people having fun. To get to the more quantitative side of things, there's a report in each of your packets that has some numbers that were compiled from the Placer data. For those who need a refresher, Placer data is something that we get through a partnership with Georgia Power. It is anonymized information about how many cell phones enter or leave a particular area. And so we asked them to draw a boundary around the Main Street and the two side streets from Whitfield to East Street, all the way from the Wooden Bridge down to Perot Park. So these numbers are people who entered that area, also showing how long they stayed within that 24-hour boundary of the event date. The control number, or on an average day, the date we used was April 29th of this year. A total of 2,400 people came through downtown. At a peak time, which was around 7 p.m., there was about 650 people downtown, and they stayed on average 93 minutes.
Jay, just to clarify, that was a Saturday.
That was a Saturday. April 29th was a Saturday, that's right. On average, the downtown live events saw pretty dramatic increases. The total number of people visiting on average was 4,440, with the peak number being 2,920 on average, with a dwell time of over 2 hours, 134 minutes. So it's a 185% increase on the number of people coming downtown, 450% increase on the number of people downtown at any given time. The peak time tended to be around 7 p.m. for all of the events, and 144% increase on the dwell time, or how long people stayed in the area. We also compiled the numbers for Art Walk, because that's another event that has brought some people directly related to a downtown live update, but it is interesting. Those numbers were raised the total to 104 of the average, the peak to 207% of the average, and the dwell time was up 110%. So 1,350 people at the peak on average for Art Walk. So these events are bringing people to downtown. They are staying downtown. I can say as a downtown business owner, they are spending money downtown. And I've talked to a couple other downtown business owners, and without getting real numbers, everyone says that, the people I talked to said that on the north end of Main Street at least, it's been a very good thing for their business. We do need to look at how to spread some of that across all of Main Street, and so we've had some thoughts about how to do that, and that's something that's going to come in some future planning meetings for next year. So overall, the event I think was a success. Financially, we brought in a total of $68,425. That's through sponsorships, vendor payments. The vendors had to pay fees for each event. Some of those fees went towards infrastructure like ice and generators and other costs. So we spent in total $58,927 across all of the events. That's an average of about $11,000 per event, and then about $6,000 in costs for the entire season as a whole. That leaves us with a surplus of $9,497.10. So not only were we able to have a successful event and bring a lot of people to downtown, we were able to do so in a financially responsible way, and we've got some money left to spend for next year's series.
And Jay, might I add to the remaining budget, there are still open invoices.
There are still open invoices, and that I'll address in the financial update.
Okay. Wonderful. Any questions or comments from the board about our Downtown Live series as it pertains to these numbers or in general about the event? Sure.
Chair and board, thank you very much. From the city council and the mayor, the city manager's office, the administration, and the staff at City Hall, and all of our employees, we appreciate what you've done. Specifically, Marty, in reference to Downtown Live, what a great vision this has been. And so to all of you that have helped make this a reality, and Art Jack, I wish Angela was here. Our organization, the City of Jasper, recognizes how important this is, how critical it is to bringing this vision to life before the actual Pro Park opening, before that project takes off. You guys have been instrumental in getting this started. And those of us that have been here our entire lives, this is huge. And you guys are making history for our little city. So thank you on behalf of the city.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you for all the city support. We
Right.
couldn't pull it off without you all. And so it's a team effort for sure.
Thank you for your advocacy and all your support.
The City Public Works needs a public shout out as well. They were. And that last Downtown Live, they were double dutying where they had to remove thousands of hay bales and then turn right around and spend the rest of the night till 11 or past 11 for downtown. So city employees, kudos to them. Wonderful job.
If I may add to that, I saw, well, I'll just say it this way. Every city employee I saw, every time I saw them, they were working, they were doing something helpful, and they seemed to be doing it with joy and pride. I didn't see any frowny faces, I didn't see any grumpiness, I didn't see any of that. And they were working really hard, and they deserve our gratitude.
Thank you.
Yes, pass that along,
Yes.
please. Anything else from our board about Downtown Live? Good job to everybody involved. I know we had a lot of, each of us, boots on the ground, so looking forward to next year, and we'll follow up with a follow-up meeting, right, Jay, and then a planning meeting for next Downtown Live, probably in January.
Yeah, we're working to get everybody's schedules to line up. There's a lot of things happening. Not only is it event season, there's also an election, there's also a lot of other private engagements, and then we're also running all of our own businesses. So we're trying to align schedules to get that follow-up meeting on the books. Once that follow-up meeting, which will be open to the public and anyone who participated in Downtown Live to attend, we'll do a planning meeting for next year. And that will also be open to all the vendors and anyone who's interested.
Perfect. If nothing else about our Downtown Live from the board, we'll move on into the financial report, which will encompass the numbers from, the other additional numbers from Downtown Live?
Yeah, so the financial report's actually a much easier thing to discuss because the bulk of the finances were Downtown Live. As it stands, as of October 18th, there are still some transactions that need to be reconciled. There's some costs related to Downtown Live that need to be paid for. And there's still, I believe, 1 or 2 sponsorship payments that are waiting to come in. So the number will change a little bit. But as of October 18th, our bank balance is $12,136.92. That the bulk of that is the $9,497.10 from the Downtown Live surplus. We don't anticipate any other expenditures, anything major through the rest of the year. There might be some minor administrative costs, but everything that we've done related to Downtown Live to date has either been paid for or already committed. All of our other administrative costs have already been paid for, so we should be able to carry that balance forward and use it for future projects.
I might add, if you're finished with that, Jay, I commended publicly the City Public Works, but without sponsors, and we had some pretty substantial sponsors, thankfully, this year, this would not at all have been possible. So I'd like to publicly also thank all the sponsors who sponsored our Downtown Live event.
Absolutely. All the sponsors, vendors, all the people who came, all the performers, everybody deserves some gratitude and some credit.
Yeah.
It would not have happened without everyone who participated.
Thank you, Jay. Any questions from the board about our financial report?
No.
And I notice we have some visitors in the room today. Would anybody like to speak or address yourselves while we're here today?
Sure.
Come on up. Sure, take the podium. No pressure.
As far as Downtown Live, yes, it was a successful event. We're thankful as a small business on the south side that we were able to participate and be part of it. I've spoken with a couple here that know our position as being the non-alcohol, kid zone, and trying to get that, kind of ramped up a little bit more. It's not our responsibility or the church's responsibility to help pay for all that. That was my intention of when I sponsored. Part of that was going to come back to the south side. We've had several people that, didn't have that same feeling. Everything was on the north side, which, I get. That's an alcohol side. We don't have that. We don't have that benefit. So that's, as far as being able to, when we looked at, when Marble Fest was here, look at that kid zone that they had was stupendous. I mean, that was a huge draw. We should be able to build something close to that with funding from sponsors, without the church, without volunteers, without all of that. That's kind of our position on that. Again, we're grateful. It was a great event. Everybody who had participated in that and made that happen, we're grateful. I would just like to see that money, and maybe now that we have a surplus, maybe some of that can go back to that. We reduced what we would have paid for a sponsor because we actually gave money to the church, who then turned around and supplied the bounce houses, the face painters, and things of that nature. So from our standpoint, we wanted that community spirit. We wanted that on our side. And that's, and a lot of people didn't realize what we were doing or how that was being done. But other than that, it was fun. It was great, and we look forward to next year. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we hear your concerns. That's there's others, and we understand that, and we definitely will take that into consideration when we do our recap and replanning meeting. Like I said, we've discussed a couple of options of different maybe locations from the north to the south, from the south to the north, even maybe in Perot Park. So we hear you and acknowledge that, and we'll definitely take that into consideration. It did become a bit of a complicated process there at the end, and we know that. So apologies for that, but we'll work on that and move forward, and we hear you. Thank you. Anything else from the public? If that is all, we will adjourn the public, if you would like, and move into an executive session.
Yes.
All right, I would like to entertain a motion from Parrish and Jack. All in favor? Raise your hand, please. Any opposed? Motion carried to move into executive session. Thank you.